Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you stopping by and supporting this channel. Without good people like yourself, we can't make it out here in this vast digital space. So with that said, let's dive into today's topic: why people don't like you. Now, before you get defensive or click away, let's be real. Everyone at some point has wondered why they're not as well liked as they'd hope. Maybe you've noticed people pulling away, or you're not getting invited to things as much. Maybe you just feel a little out of sync with your social circle. The truth is, it's a tough pill to swallow, but understanding the reasons behind it can be a game changer for your relationships and your own personal growth. First, let's get one thing straight. Not everyone is going to like you, and that's perfectly okay. You could be the juiciest peach in the orchard, and there will still be someone who hates peaches. But if you're noticing a pattern, if you're consistently feeling left out or misunderstood, it might be time to look inward and ask yourself some tough questions. Let's start with self-awareness. One of the biggest reasons people struggle socially is a lack of self-awareness. This isn't about being self-absorbed, but rather not realizing how your words and actions affect others. Maybe you interrupt people without realizing it, or you dominate conversations. Maybe you come off as dismissive or uninterested, even if that's not your intention. People pick up on these subtle cues, and over time, it can push them away. Another big factor is negativity. Are you the person who always points out what's wrong, complains about everything, or brings the mood down? Negativity is contagious, and most people would rather avoid it. If you find yourself constantly venting or focusing on the bad, try to balance it out with some positivity. People are naturally drawn to those who lift them up, not those who drag them down. Let's talk about empathy. Empathy is the ability to put yourself in someone else's shoes and understand how they feel. If you struggle with empathy, you might come across as cold, uncaring, or even rude. Maybe you don't mean to, but if you're not making an effort to understand others, they'll notice. Practice active listening. Really pay attention when someone is talking and respond thoughtfully. Ask questions, show interest, and validate their feelings. It goes a long way. Another reason people might not like you is if you're unreliable. Do you cancel plans last minute? Do you make promises you can't keep? Reliability is a cornerstone of trust, and if people can't count on you, they'll eventually stop trying. If you want to build stronger relationships, be someone others can depend on. Show up when you say you will, and follow through on your commitments. Let's not forget about boundaries. Sometimes people don't like you because you don't respect their boundaries. Maybe you overshare personal details, or you're too pushy about hanging out. Maybe you don't give people space when they need it. Respecting boundaries is crucial for healthy relationships. Pay attention to social cues, and don't take it personally if someone needs time alone. Now, let's address arrogance. Confidence is great, but arrogance is a turnoff. If you constantly talk about yourself, brag, or act like you're better than everyone else, people will distance themselves. Humility is attractive. Be proud of your achievements, but don't rub them in people's faces. Celebrate others' successes too. Another common issue is gossiping. If you're known for talking behind people's backs or spreading rumors, trust will evaporate quickly. People want to feel safe around their friends, not worried that their secrets will become public knowledge. If you have a habit of gossiping, try to break it. Focus on building people up instead of tearing them down. Let's talk about communication style. Are you passive-aggressive? Do you use sarcasm as a shield? Do you avoid difficult conversations, letting resentment build up? Poor communication can create misunderstandings and hurt feelings. Work on being clear, direct, and kind in your interactions. If something's bothering you, address it calmly and respectfully. Sometimes people don't like you because you're too needy or clingy. It's natural to want connection, but if you rely on others for your happiness or constantly seek validation, it can be overwhelming. Work on building your own self-esteem and finding fulfillment outside of your relationships. Independence is attractive, and it takes the pressure off your friends and loved ones. On the flip side, maybe you're too distant. If you keep people at arm's length, never open up, or seem uninterested in forming deeper connections, people might assume you don't care. Vulnerability is scary, but it's also necessary for meaningful relationships. Let people in, share your thoughts and feelings, and show that you value their presence in your life. Let's not ignore the impact of jealousy and competitiveness. If you're always trying to one-up others or can't be happy for their successes, it creates tension. Celebrate your friends' wins and remember that their achievements don't diminish your own. There's enough success to go around. Another thing to consider is how you handle conflict. Do you hold grudges, refuse to apologize, or escalate arguments? Conflict is inevitable, but how you deal with it matters. Be willing to admit when you're wrong, apologize sincerely, and work towards resolution instead of revenge. Sometimes people don't like you simply because your values or interests don't align. That's okay. You don't have to change who you are to fit in. Focus on finding your tribe, people who appreciate you for who you are. But if you notice a pattern of strained relationships, it's worth reflecting on your behavior and seeing if there's room for growth. So what can you do if you recognize yourself in some of these points? Start by being honest with yourself. Self-reflection isn't always comfortable, but it's necessary for growth. Ask for feedback from people you trust and be open to what they have to say. Work on developing empathy, improving your communication skills, and being a reliable, positive presence in others' lives. Remember, nobody's perfect. We all have flaws and make mistakes. The goal isn't to become universally liked, but to build genuine, healthy relationships with people who matter to you. Focus on being the best version of yourself, and the right people will be drawn to you. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe for more content. Sharing this video helps the channel reach more amazing people like yourself. See you in the next video.